Well, as always, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys covering our program. Makes a difference. We're in week 6 and second conference weekend. It's great to be back home this weekend. Our last 4 home games were exceptional. The East Carolina weekend, then Wake Forest last midweek. What Teal Nation brought to the table in those 4 games was absolutely felt. Average over 4,000 fans a game. We had 5,100 at the Wake game. We need that kind of energy. We need that kind of support this weekend. It's a big weekend for us in our second conference series.
Kevin, can you talk about the progression of Luke over the last couple of weeks, having been thrown into the mix for Fluky in there, and just what you've seen from him? It just seems like he's getting obviously a little bit more patient, I guess, so to speak, and a little bit more comfortable in that role.
Really can't compliment him more. It started in Texas when he was inserted into that role. Felt like he really stepped in and did a phenomenal job versus a tremendous offense. University of Texas in a big environment, over 15,000 fans. And then the following weekend was sensational versus East Carolina. And then this past weekend, he was great. He was the reason why we were able to win that game on Friday night. He put up zeros versus their arm. And then we were obviously able to break open the game a little bit in the 6th with the 3-run homer. But he's been tremendous. He's a guy that was going to, probably be slated as our Sunday, possibly Tuesday guy. And, because of some other situations, he's had to fulfill that Friday night guy. And that Friday night role is a different role. Any way you look at it is different. And really proud of his maturity and the way he's handling his business. And, he's a big reason for, our success to this point.
I know it's still too early to know whether or not with the situation with Fluky is, but if he does return later on down the road and you do move Luke to Sunday, boy, that gives you a really solid Sunday guy that was in that Friday role for you to set up that weekend rotation pretty solid down the stretch in and going into the postseason.
There's no question. You got Cam Fluky pitching on Friday, and our hope is Hayden Johnson's coming back. Hayden feels great. Cam feels great. Hayden's going to throw as early as Friday. Again, Cam feels really good. Those guys are chomping at the bit to get back out there. What would it look like? I don't know at this point. I can tell you that we're looking forward to having it. Just having Ryan Lynch back has been a very positive step for our staff. I thought he was really good last night for a second time out there. His shapes were better. His stuff was better. And I think you're just going to see his stuff continue to get better because, he really hasn't pitched a lot. He was hurt and he only faced live hitters one time before his first outing last week at App State. So last night was his second outing. It's a really cold night, but we're really happy with where he's at. So we're at 12 pitchers right now, 5 freshmen, 12 arms, and we went 4-0 last week. Last night was a little bump in the road. Unfortunately, didn't play as well as we wanted to, but up until that point, we won 4 in a row. We scored 7 runs in 6 of our last 7 games. Now 6 of our last 8 games. Do think that we're trending in the right direction offensively. Last night didn't look it. It was a tough night to hit. It was a tough strike zone, tough night to hit. In a tough park, and ultimately, they got one more run than we did.
Going off that, in your mind, do you feel that you get Fluky and Hayden back sooner than maybe you thought?
That's in a perfect world, man. You're thinking positive. I love that mentality.
Hey, man,
We are as well. I can tell you that these guys want to pitch. These guys are doing everything possible to be back early. The sooner we get them back, the better we're going to be. These aren't just 2 arms. These are 2 elite arms. These are 2 of the best arms in the entire country. So, let's not hide behind, we just got to, next guy's got to step in. I know I say that a lot, but, you're stepping in for elite superstars. That just doesn't happen.
Hey, Coach, what kind of approach or adjustments are you looking for your hitters this weekend?
We just got to continue to stay positive, bunch quality at bats. Ultimately, if you look at take a deep dive into some of the stuff that we're doing. We're missing fastballs in the middle of the plate. We got to do a better job of capitalizing on fastballs in the middle of the plate. I don't know the exact reason, but you look, in the last 4 games, outside of, I guess, on Sunday we scored in the fourth inning, but outside of that, I mean, we're just not getting on the board early. At the same time, we've won 3 of the last 4, but it's not the recipe you want. I mean, we've got to get out to better starts. Last night, we had leadoff guy on base in the first and didn't put any quality at bats together after that. In the third, we had first and second, no outs, didn't put any quality at bats. In our program, scoring first is a big thing, and that's got to be something that we do a little bit better job of.
Coach, you always talk about the strength of this conference and how good this conference is, but it seems like this year this conference is extremely talented with you guys, Louisiana playing well, obviously Southern Miss, and I believe Arkansas State. Is this the most talented you've seen, the top part of this conference in the last couple of years?
I'll be honest, I haven't really dove into it. I'm not a standings guy. I mean, Shill's great at that stuff. He dives into every game and all that stuff. I don't. Really what's in front of us. And all I look at is JMU right now and versus JMU. They're off to a solid start, but it's really tough to, and I don't want to say this negatively, but it's tough to like look at the numbers and say, oh, well, they're doing this better than us and we're doing this. You can't. I mean, their strength of schedule is 170 and ours is top 25 in the country. Like, that's the facts, right? They are hitting over 300 as a team. They've stole 60-plus bases. They don't have a ton of strikeouts as a team. They use the inside game well. So we're going to have to defend bunts just like we did versus East Carolina. We're going to have to defend the stolen base. We're going to have to play catch. And ultimately, like I said, just looking at the stats, they don't strike out a lot. So we're going to have to handle the baseball, which we did a great job at App State. We played really good infield defense at App State, but it's really tough to compare the stats. Again, when you're playing, your strength of schedule is over 170 and our strength of schedule is top 25, it's not, you're not comparing apples to apples.
Any last questions, guys?
Yeah, Coach, how are you going to be preparing Estep and Tazi as well as the pitchers as well for the rate that JMU steals bases?
Well, every day we work on it. Got to play catch at a high level. We're gonna get after it today. We're gonna work on some throws to different bases today. We've caught at a very high level, and I got to give Coach Shoemaker a lot of credit. He's dove in and worked extremely hard with our catchers. That was a big question mark going into the year. How are you going to replace Caden Bodine? And listen, you're never going to replace Caden Bodine. I mean, he's a first rounder, best catcher ever play at Coastal Carolina. But these two guys collectively have done an unbelievable job receiving. If you look at their receiving analytics, they tremendous job receiving. And that's the number one goal as a catcher is keep strikes. And they have done a great job of that. They just got to continue to progress. Last night, again, I'm being picky, but if we're a little bit more accurate, we throw the guy out at second base. And there's just a couple throws here and there. If we're a little bit more accurate, we throw guys out. They change games. Now, Estep did throw a guy out on Sunday, which was a big throw for us. But overall, very pleased with what they've done behind the plate. This weekend, we got to play catch. Our pitchers have done a nice job of controlling the running game for the most part, and now our catchers got to play catch at a high level to be able to throw them out.